think if you cook for yourself quite often, you need to invest in one of these little gadgets, electric hand whisk. I think it's a wonderful gadget. Now, the only thing that can go wrong with a soufflé omelette is that you over or underbeat the egg whites, and what you want is for them to come up to soft peaks that just kind of drip over like that after you've cooked them. So that's the egg whites there, and now the egg yolks, but first of all I'm just going to pop a little bit of butter into the pan to heat that up whilst I'm dealing with the yolks. And all I'm going to do with those is use the same whisk and just give them a quick whisk. And then I'm going to fold them in to the egg whites using a metal spoon. You just make cutting movements, flip the spoon over like that, and just amalgamate everything thoroughly together. Now, you might be tempted to want to have a good old beat here, but you mustn't, because the principle of making a soufflé is to get air. And you've beaten all the lovely air into the egg whites, and now it's very important that you don't lose it. So you just fold carefully so that you retain all the air. I think it's always helpful if you know why when people give you orders in recipes and cooking. That's it. And now I can hear my butter sizzling away there. The next thing is some cheese, and I've got 2 ounces of grated cheddar, strong cheddar, but you can use any cheese you like. And just for extra flavour, I'm going to add a tablespoon of fresh snipped chives to give that nice mild oniony flavour that chives have. And fold those in. These are available all through the summer, but in the winter you can actually buy cheddar cheese with chives already in it, so that's a nice cheese to use for a soufflé omelette. Now, when everything's thoroughly amalgamated, you then swirl the butter around the pan to give it a good coating. Just beginning to tinge brown, the butter there. And now in goes the soufflé mixture. And what I've got to warn you about now is to leave it alone. You just put it in the pan. You can shake it just to spread it out, but leave it in the pan for 1 minute just to set. It might be tempting to want to kind of poke it and dive in and do all sorts of things, but just have patience. And what you can do to fill in the time is what I'm going to do now, and that is grate some more cheese, this time fresh Parmesan cheese. And if you want to transform your cooking overnight, switch from using the ready grated Parmesan cheese, which has very little flavour, to the fresh stuff, which you can buy in supermarkets and specialised food shops. That'll transform the flavour of everything if you're already using the packet stuff. Now, after a minute, if you want to, you can just have a look and see what's happening. Yes, it's getting nice and golden underneath. And then you just transfer it to your hot grill, which we'll do. Under the grill it goes. And then patience again, you have to wait another minute. I'm not asking you to wait very long, it's a very quick recipe. Another minute now for that to just rise up and become a little bit brown. And while we're waiting for that, we talked about chives. I just want to mention this because if you buy a little pot of chives at the beginning of the summer in the springtime, and you keep them on your windowsill, well watered, you can just snip off a few any time you're going to cook a recipe. Just get a handful like this, snip them off, and they give delicious fresh flavour to things. And if you keep it well watered and keep on cutting it, the more you cut it back, in fact, the more it seems to grow. One of those will suit you well, I think, through the whole summer.